What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today, my friends, we're talking about how to improve your shooting in FIFA 17. I think I'm gonna make this a top 5 shooting tips type of video where we cover some of the basics, what to look for, what to understand. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up. In the comments down below, is there anything I missed? Is there anything I left out? What tutorial do you need to see next, or what do you want to see a little bit more focus on? Whether it's chemistry styles, squad building, just general tutorials or tips with build-up play and tangibles, let me know down below. Let's get started with one of the lost arts in the FIFA series. I'm talking about skill games. And for whatever reason, people seem to be unaware or don't want to put in a little bit of practice to skill games before going into matches. And for example, in this year's installment, and that's what you're seeing behind me, that's why we got some skill games rolling. These are shooting skill games, and there are 8 shooting and advanced shooting skill games that are in FIFA 17. And let me rewind real quick. For example, when FIFA 17 came out, nobody understood the new free kicks yet. Nobody understood the penalty kicks, but you could go to the skill games and practice them over and over again, which makes a lot of logical sense. And that's my first shooting tip, is going into the arena or going into the skill games and practicing. They even give you targets. They incentivize you to aim to the corner or to try a chip shot, maybe finesse this one or use the low driven finish there because they have something that's covering. They got almost a wall where you got to go around it or you have to go under, and so forth and so on. And it's good for your instincts to start to understand the game and the mechanics. In fact, sometimes I go into skill games before I ever go into an online match just so I can get my controller moving, my hands feeling right before we start playing FUT Champions, and it only takes me 2 to 3 minutes and then we're good to go. It's like the quickest warm-up you could ever ask for. The second point that I'd like to talk about is your choice of shot, and these are not listed in order, just a bunch of different shooting tips that have helped me in FIFA 17. Knowing what works and what doesn't work. For example, once you're outside of the box, finesse shot, you're asking for a lot. There's a couple circumstances where on the edge of the box you can make it work, but when you're looking at 25 yards and deeper, finesse shots just don't work. Keepers catch them, especially if your opposition has someone like Neuer, Courtois, Buffon, Handanovic, Butlin, and so forth and so on. Those guys just aren't going to concede long finesse shots. So you need to know that before you ever even think to attempt it. It saves you time, you're making better habits. And the same goes for even the driven finish. A lot of people have issues aiming the driven finish. Does that mean that finish doesn't have value? No, that's not what Mike is saying. There is plenty of value, but maybe it's a little bit more of an advanced technique and you haven't mastered just using the normal B or the normal shooting command and aiming that properly. Don't add something into the mix if you're not ready to add that into your gameplay. It's not a problem. Nobody asked you to learn every skill move when the game came out. Go one by one, and the same goes for finishing and taking your opportunities. Number 3, when in doubt in FIFA 17, shoot across the body. Every other year EA switches this up. So last year, the near post, it was overpowered. This year, it's all about going across the body. Next year, maybe the near post will be back. But it's a safe habit. And the way that goalkeepers parry those across the body shots, they often push it right back into the center area of the pitch, which means you're going to have an option for a rebound. And I'm not encouraging, and I'm not saying I love rebounds or anything along those lines, but come on, play the game logically. When in doubt, if you're not sure what to do and you're in a shooting position, cross the body. Number 4, we've got power and timing. I'm going to start with timing because a lot of pros are so clinical because they understand when to pull the trigger. In FIFA, and this might differentiate from other games you've played, it definitely is different from Pro Evolution Soccer if you've experienced a lot of Pro Evo. FIFA, you see the same goals over and over again. You're going to rinse, wash, and repeat. So what you're doing is you're looking to battle your opposition for positioning. Battle your opposition for positioning. That just seems like it's going to be a tongue twister. What I mean is, you know, when you get to this location, if you take advantage of that spot, you're going to score. And the same keeps happening in FIFA. That's what it's all about, where you're like, all right, I can shoot across the body, outside the box, it's about 25, that's going to go in. Oh, when I turn here, that's going to go in. And so forth and so on. And that's what I want to stress, that you need to understand the time and the place to pull the trigger. Location, location, location. And then with the power bar, if you're unsure, you're hitting things too soft, you're hitting things too hard, there's a bit of a safe rule to play this. When you're inside the box, I would say anywhere between 25 to 35% power is a good area, so just over a bar. And when you're outside the box, unless you're ripping it from super long distance, we're talking about 50 to 60% and you're good. Even if you choose the finesse or the power, whatever it may be, you're not going to be hitting it over the bar and you're not going to be under hitting it where it just dribbles to the goalkeeper, because that's not what you want to do. You want to force saves, you want to put things on frame. And I've noticed in the comments a lot of people are having issues with aiming or messing up opportunities, and I know that it's dealing with timing and power. People are over there trying to overclock it, and I get it. But you're just making that line of error, that small margin of error, even smaller. So make it easy on yourself. Number 5 and my final point, know your personnel. When you build a squad, you've got to know what's good, what's bad, and what's in between, and player tendencies. People complain and send me clip examples on Twitter or on the live stream, and they don't understand why a right-footed shot's not going into the top corner with James Rodriguez. Of course his accuracy is going to fall. Or if somebody's dragging on you, why this didn't work out. Or you try to finesse shot with Mario Gomez. He's not known for being able to slot it into the back of the net. Certain characteristics and traits which you can look up on Foothead, you can look up in the game. See if your guy has curve. Because finesse shots don't work with people that don't have any curve, don't have any You got to have the ability to shape the ball to make that work. I always remembered last year, for example, Guarim. Great long shot taker. I even scored a lot of free kicks with him. But he was terrible in terms of being able to have that finesse action. He couldn't pick it into the back corner and shape it around a goalkeeper. But could he drill it? Could my man hit it like a rock? I'm talking throwing a brick at the goalkeeper. Absolutely. And you just have to know that before you make that attempt and build up those types of good habits when playing FIFA. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up. I'm going to have a lot more coming for you guys ASAP. Make sure to get in the comments. I'm looking forward to everybody's feedback and dialogue. Until next time, peace.